Guys, I checked out Withawonder, who's the really fat guy that streams shirtless on IRL section. Everyone said that that's me in a few years or whatever. So I checked out the stream and I was actually dying laughing, like laughing regularly every couple minutes. I'd start cracking up. And it wasn't because of him, it was because of the chat. They call him my liege, my king, my lord. They're like, they created this idea that he's a king and that's why he's laying on a couch eating all day. Which, that's kind of what kings do. Someone said he looked like the Goblin King on, on the Hobbit trilogy, which was hilarious. Like, his chat is very clever, and they've made it their full-time job to entertain themselves by just being silly regarding... Yes, they call him King Xerxes! Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Like, I was dying. And that's probably how a King Xerxes really looks. So he must be. That's exactly what they say. So you've been there. I was dying. Like, I laughed harder from that chat room than I've laughed like in years about anything, except like maybe like a personal joke between two people that got really like funny and blown out of proportion or whatever. But like, as far as like laughing repeatedly many times with breaks between. Like, I had to have laughed like 40 times just watching for like an hour. I don't laugh 40 times watching a comedy movie. Even my favorite comedy, like Dumb and Dumber, I might laugh like 3 or 4 times. Or even like Norbit. Like some of the great comedy movies. I mean, I might laugh like 7 or 8 times the first time I've seen it. Then it drops down to 3. It could still be entertaining. But as far as just like pure cracking up, this was the funniest thing. I love it. I feel like what the chat has done for that channel is priceless. Like, he didn't do anything entertaining at all while I was watching. Now, he might be an entertaining guy in his own right. He seemed like he had a decent personality. And I'm sure it is hard to put up with that chat all the time, being the victim of the jokes. But it didn't seem like he was reading it at all when I watched. He was just chilling watching TV, but the chat was unbelievable, and it was so active. I couldn't believe that they were pretty much writing non-stop, fast. Like, I could barely keep up, but I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely gonna watch this stream more for the chat, and hopefully, the next time I check it out, I can learn more about him personally. He didn't talk that much during the hour I watched. He was just eating and watching TV, so... But yeah, I'm hooked. I totally get it why it's such a hugely successful channel right now. I had a feeling that the chat would be making fun of him, but... this exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it'd be funny to hear fat jokes all day, but... it went beyond fat jokes. Like, he said I'm full, right? And then someone in chat's like, he says he's full and then he keeps eating. And then somebody else is, like, after that, he was like, alright, now I'm really full. Like, I'm done. And then a whole bunch of people were like, please feed more. You need this strength and energy to have a long stream. They were, like, basically urging him to, like, rupture his stomach organ, which is ridiculous. Like, that's so stupid to tell someone to keep eating when they clearly overate already. And they have weight issues. But the chat has no shame and no filter, and they have no limits to how low they will stoop. Like, if he were to follow what they're saying, he would die. But they don't care. They're, like, so messed up. And I didn't even know that there are that many words for royalty. I saw my lord, my liege, lord, king, sire. Oh my gosh. And it's funny because it's ironic. Irony is one of the 5 elements of humor. I think it's 5. Irony is one of the strongest ones. So basically, calling somebody your lord just because they're a fat random guy, probably unemployed, laying on the couch living with their mom, like, that's not a royal figure at all. And so for people to be treating him like he's royalty is ridiculous. And it's ironic because somebody that is the furthest thing from royalty, bottom of the food chain in terms of power on this earth, is being treated, at least by the chat room, as being a royal, powerful figure that deserves worship, respect, etc. That's ridiculous. So that's ironic. And then the other ironic part behind that, there's multiple elements of irony in that, is that they're all there to make fun of him. So in a chat room that's literally just throwing banana peels at someone, they're pretending to also worship and adore their king, which is a completely ridiculous notion because everyone there is guilty of just being there to roast someone. So this idea that they're there really to worship him, not to roast him, is obviously a lie and ridiculous. So there's just all these elements which make it so funny. I know most people wouldn't analyze why something's funny, but I think that's important because as somebody that likes to be funny and likes to make people laugh, have always been that way, I think it's important to know what is funny and why, because then you can recreate that in your own way at your own time in the future. It gives you tools for your arsenal of making people laugh. So I really do like to analyze it because there's not enough truly funny stuff in this world, and the only way to produce more funny things is to know what constitutes a funny thing. But yeah, his chat is just so messed up, and it's just so relentless. Like every little thing, from clip your toenails to he just looked at that piece of chicken and saw something bony, shrugged, and ate it anyways. Didn't know what it was. Like, they comment on every little thing. Somebody said his hair is so greasy he could rub it on a frying pan and fry food with it. Like, who says that? It's ridiculous. And I didn't even notice his hair being greasy until they said that. Then I looked and I was like, yeah, I guess it is pretty greasy. But I'm not one to talk. I've had greasy hair a million times, but it's still funny. I really want to see it more. Like, I feel like I could watch that all day. I'm sure eventually the jokes will run out, though. Like, there's only so much you can say, and then it'll get repetitive. But for my first time being there, it was just unbelievable comic gold. But I know I'm positive it won't be sustainable. Like, there's only so much you can say. So if I take another day off, heck, I might even watch it after the stream. Or during the stream. No, I don't know. The problem is I can't read chat and actually do something, so it's not like a podcast. You have to be reading his chat to get the full experience. So you have to give it your undivided attention. The only way I can do that is if I'm not streaming, because I can't really read my chat, read his chat, I'd be cracking up. I don't know. I thought I should stream my reaction. I create a reaction video to his stream and just show me cracking up like I was crying. I think people could have enjoyed that if I made a video like that. But his channel really shows that the quality of the chat can really make a huge difference. Like, I was not there to watch him. If he had chat disabled, for example, there would have been literally nothing for me to enjoy at all about it. No offense against him. I mean, I'm sure he could be an entertaining guy. There's a reason he got to as far as he did, I'm sure. Well, that and just the amazing clickbait aspect of just a huge guy sprawled out across the screen. Everyone's going to click that at least once. So that brings in a lot of traffic. But I'm sure he had to do some kind of entertaining discourse to help it out as well. So I give him credit too. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, he's getting like 600 viewers now. Is he going to become the next Dr. Disrespect? Is he going to start pulling 10 or 20k viewers? It's possible. I mean, as entertained as I was, I would say I was entertained as Dr. Disrespect. I really would. But would I be entertained 6 hours in, 10 hours in, multiple days? I don't know. I just don't know if it stays as funny. Like, jokes get old. You have to have new jokes, so I can only hear so many different ways of somebody saying, my lord, my liege, and feed, before I might be like, oh, it was funny, but it's kind of getting old. So we'll see how that plays out, but I know one thing, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely am going to check it out again. It was well worth the visit for anybody bored. I mean, I had no idea that just roasting somebody could be that funny. You know, and that's interesting coming from a guy who got made fun of brutally throughout high school by the football team, which I was a member of. I was the runt of the pack. I don't look like a guy that would get made fun of, but I was such a softie, such a nice guy. I was an easy target. That was the issue. Everybody's got a handful of things that you can make fun of. And I was a little different. So I'm no stranger to it. And as somebody who's been made fun of, you're a little more defensive of people getting made fun of. And you know, enjoy seeing somebody being attacked because you know how it feels. But the fact that he really didn't care at all, or wasn't even reading it, and also the fact that it is online and he is putting himself out there to get made fun of, like, he's shirtless. It's not like he could put a shirt on and just stream face cam. But he's purposefully, like, setting himself up to be made fun of. So you don't feel the guilt of making fun of a guy who's pretty much monetizing being willing to get made fun of. So it becomes like kind of like an innocent making fun of type of situation. So you can really get into it without being worried. Like, should I be laughing? That's kind of messed up. Like, I didn't feel those questions. So it was just pure enjoyment for me. And it actually was kind of healing. Just being able to take part in making, like, laughing at jokes at someone's expense, making fun of someone, being on the laughing side of it rather than the receiving side. It kind of helped me to see that making fun of people can be really funny and can be innocent. And the enjoyment I got getting to laugh along with these bullies kind of was like healing, in that it kind of made me become the bully, because I'm laughing with the bullies, I'm on the bully side. And by becoming the bully and seeing the pleasure the bully is getting at the victim's expense, it made me understand the bullies better. And being sympathetic with the bully in a bully-victim relationship, when you've historically always been the victim, helps you to forgive the bully and even revisit all the bullying you've received in your life. And from the bully's point of view, think about like, wow, that was really funny what they were saying about me. And then you get to laugh as well with them. And if you can laugh at yourself being made fun of at that moment of pain, turning those memories into a pleasureful, that actually was pretty funny type of feel, it can help the healing process, I think. Healing the hurt you felt. So, yeah, I think there's some deep psychological damage that was done to me, and anybody that's been a victim at a long-term basis. And I think just taking part in bullying can help heal that damage, because you just realize, well, you know, you should lighten up and humble yourself and be willing to take some insults if it's going to amuse others. Take it for the team, because, you know, people need to be entertained, and making fun of you is their entertainment. So, you know, don't be such a softie. Don't take it too personal. Don't let it hurt you, because people need to have some vent for laughter and being silly and making fun of others. And if you get to provide that service, then you're doing others a favor. Whether you like it or not, you're helping them out by making their their day more entertaining. So it's just a different way of looking at bullying, and I think it's really interesting. And I have a unique perspective on it, because I've been bullied a lot in my life, and yeah, I just think it's really cool to finally be with the bully side. And no victim as well, because I still would be a little more sensitive than a normal person to feeling sympathy for the victim. But because he clearly wasn't letting it affect him, or is hiding it well, it didn't bother me so much to laugh along. I still don't see myself being able to actually do the bullying in the chat, though. I couldn't do it, because I'm too worried about hurting somebody's feelings. But to laugh at what they were saying, I can do that. I still feel like if somebody bullied somebody else in real life, though, I wouldn't laugh, even if it was really funny, because I'd be concerned about the person getting their feelings hurt. I know that's so hard to get bullied. I hated it. The worst thing is when you're bullied every day. Systematic bullying, or like repetitive bullying. Like, I really could not imagine being a streamer who logged on every day, kind of like signing up to be bullied every day, and that's my shtick. I couldn't do it. And I don't think he'll be able to do it long term. I mean, for a while, maybe he can do it if he's really a strong individual, but there's only so much you can take before you're just going to be like, enough's enough. Either lose the weight or just stop streaming because you just can't deal with it. Like, I've already been bullied for being fat, and I was only like 8 or 9 pounds overweight. I don't even think I hit 10. Maybe I hit 10 or 11 like for a very short period at like a very high peak for like a day or two. Like, and that would include like water weight and everything else. But I never was like way overweight, and I already dealt with a decent amount of bullying over that as a streamer over the past few years. And I was not liking it. Fortunately for me now, my wife's been buying me fruit, and with my existing 2 or 3 days a week of exercise, weightlifting and some mild cardio, combine that with the fruit, and I have lost quite a bit of weight. So I've been good to go even without working out every day. So that's kind of cool.